Ready, let's go.
All right, let's fucking go, baby. You signed up with your twin brother, and you both signed up at the coaching at the exact same time, which was very weird from my position, I will say. Working with two twin brothers was amazing, and you both absolutely crushed it. You in particular, man, holy shit. You went from only having approached 8 women in your entire life to making out with women in bars, being way more confident, telling women you're sexy, saying, "Can I kiss you?" You went on 5 dates in 2 weeks. You made a bunch of new friends. You went from being angry all the fucking time to, to becoming way more stoic, way more peaceful. You handled a lot of big stuff that life threw at you. You became a lot more happy. You fully embraced what we call autistic honesty and just being authentic and upfront. You started taking some singing lessons to pursue your dreams of making music and so much more. And the thing I like most is something that you wrote in your final post, which was, "But by far the biggest hurdle I have overcome is my own self-belief that I was not good enough to date." How do you feel after all of these amazing accomplishments, brother?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, throughout this program, like I was journaling and it's just like I was flicking through it now and I was noticing like I had loads of questions and notes. And then towards the end of the program, I just stopped like writing so much, kind of like because I kind of knew what I was doing.
Bro, that's the mission of the coaching, hey, is like I literally say this to all of you at the start. My goal with the coaching is to get you to a point where you don't need me. And that was absolutely you. And that's most people who come to the coaching, dude. And most of the people listening, I would almost phrase it like this. A lot of questions that people ask me or the other coaches, the questions don't really matter. You will figure out the answer if you just go and talk to women or you just start that business or you just go to the gym. The answers will kind of take care of themselves. But at the start, you feel so lost. Did you feel lost when you first came to the coaching?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like we were working on this for like 2 years, just looking through your Tinder guides and like YouTube videos. It's just like we just felt it was just slow progress at the time.
But you guys made some progress, right? Like you'd gone from talking to no women to talking to 8 in those kind of 2 years.
Yeah. But like we still weren't happy with the results though.
Okay, what made the difference then? I'm curious. Was it just like, okay, I've put down all this money, I'm paying for this fucking coaching program, I better like take this seriously and do shit? Or was it something we did in the coaching? Was it just us saying, "Hey man, you can do more"? Was it just us pushing you? Like, why did you go from I can only talk to 8 women to, by the end of it, you would literally walk up to women and be like, "Hi, you're sexy. Can I kiss you?"
Can I kiss you?
Like, yeah, what changed, bro? How do you go from that to that?
Yeah, I think it's just the community, like having like-minded people like ourselves, because it's like it's really hard to like find that in real life. Like even the people, like I made friends with new people, and it's like we're slowly like improving our dating lives. Like I took photos from one guy as well and improved his dating life. But it's like trying to find those people is a bit tough because it's a bit of a taboo subject to talk about.
Bro, yeah, like this is, I've written several articles about this and done so many videos on this, on like how to find friends that will have your back and push you and support you in self-improvement. It's not that those people aren't out there. It's just that people who are into self-improvement, especially like hardcore self-improvement, like I want to get laid a lot, or I want to build a multi-million-dollar business or something, like proper hardcore self-improvement. Those people don't walk around with a sign on their t-shirt saying, "Hello, everybody, like I'm into self-improvement. Come talk to me if you're hardcore." They're usually too busy with their head down, hustling. And often those kind of people don't hang out in the normal places where you would meet people, you know what I mean? Like, because they're busy. They're busy hustling and grinding or building a business or having a lot of sex or whatever it might be. And so you have to put a lot of freaking effort into finding people like that. That's why I've covered it so much in so many videos. Like you have to literally hunt. You have to be the one to put your hand up and have a sign on you that says, "Hi, I'm looking for self-improvement people." I think joining a coaching program is like a cheat code to that. But anyone who's listening who can't afford coaching, like go fucking find these people. Like literally go hunting. Go on Bumble and go on the friendship section and be like, "Yo, hey, copy paste this to everyone. Do you want to be a hardcore fucking self-improvement friend with me? I have big goals, big ambitions. I want to talk to girls. I want to get laid, or I want to make money. Are you willing to help me with that?" Like you need that accountability, hey?
Yeah. I mean, that's how I met one of the guys. I met them through a meetup social. Just being honest and saying, yeah, I'm more into like looking for dates and all that. And then that's how it's like, whoa, we're here for the same thing, bro.
What helped you get over that hurdle though? Because I know you had a lot of fear of telling other people that you want to work on your sex life, and you definitely had a freaking fear of telling girls, you're sexy, can I kiss you, can I date you? How'd you get over that fear?
Honestly, I still remember it. I just remember like being at a Oktoberfest and being next to this cute girl and just thinking, man, I want to say you're sexy and can I kiss you? And I was like, nah, I can't do it, can't do it. And then I posted on the group, just like, yo, how do I do it? And everyone's just like, just say it, just be autistic and blurt it out. And then it's like the next week, I think 2 weeks later, then I went to the pub, okay, with the intention of saying it.
Yeah.
I go up to this MILF, okay, and I give her a compliment. I'm like, yo, you got a nice shirt going there. And then we started talking for a bit, and then she left. And I sat down, and then she joined me. And I was just, as she was talking, I'm thinking, man, just say it, just say it, just say it. I'm like, you're sexy! And she's like, oh, thanks. And I'm just like, but can I kiss you? And she's like, haha, no. But thank you. That's really ballsy what you're doing. Like, keep doing that. I was just like, fuck, this isn't that hard. Like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, if you say it, like, they're just gonna say yes or no.
Yeah, bro. I like what you said there about like autistic honesty. Like, you were not smooth in that moment, correct? Like the first woman you said that to, that was not smooth? No. How could it be smooth? Like, you've never done it.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was just like saying it, just forcing yourself to say it. It's just one of those, you have to just do it.
Pretty sure we said this to you, bro. Like, every time you go out there and try, that is a success. Like, if you go to a bar and you're trying to say to women, you're sexy, or can I kiss you, or you're trying to just even talk to them in general, every time you can't do it, that's still a step forward. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like, I failed. I went out to a bar and I couldn't talk to a single woman. I'm a pussy. It's like, no. You don't realize that every single moment that you try and don't do it, it's like it builds up a little bit of frustration. And like, you were the king of, at least at the start, a lot of the action that you took, bro, came out of frustration of like, you would try and do something so many times and you wouldn't be able to do it. And then you get so frustrated, you finally just do it. Like, frustration can be a really helpful tool. I'm not saying I want everyone to go out there and be frustrated, but as your frustration is building up, bro, that's helping you get closer to actually fucking hit on that girl.
Yeah, you're right. The thing is that I totally forgot, like, there were weeks when I was just beating myself up because I couldn't say it before then. I totally forgot about that. It's been so long.
You and I would be the first people to tell everyone listening, we would like you to feel lots of love. We would like you to feel happiness. We would like you to do your goals out of excitement. But that's not always how it goes at the start, bro. And if I'm honest, like, if I'm just going to be brutally honest, when I first started learning how to approach and I was really struggling at the start, a lot of the girls that I talked to, I had to almost build up frustration first. Like, I had to walk past 300 women and not be able to do it. And that frustration go up and up and up. And then I'd just be like, what the fuck am I doing? It's just a woman. She's not going to bite your head off. Just look, she looks so cute and innocent. Go over to that goddamn girl and just tell her she's pretty. And then I would walk over and I'd get like this close. I'd get real close. And then I just walk away and be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And that would happen like literally hundreds of times. I'm not even exaggerating. And then at some point I just almost have like a breakdown, but it's more like a breakthrough. I would sit on a bench and just be like, why can't I do this? What am I doing? Like, how long am I going to walk around trying? And I thought I was failing, but no, I was getting closer to that moment when I would actually do it. The frustration would build up. And then I'd go, I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of walking around for hours and hours and hours and not doing this. And then I'd just walk over to some girl and I'd be like, hi, you're cute. And she'd be like, oh, thank you. And then I'd be like, I did it. I fucking did. I don't even care what she says after that. I fucking did it. And so some of that frustration that I had in the early days was like the main motivator. Again, I'm not encouraging everyone to feel frustrated, but like, again, you were the king of that. Your frustration built so many times. And that was like the catalyst to you improving and changing things.
Yeah, that was pretty much a good narration of what happened to me. Yeah. I totally forgot because it's just been like so long, like from that point on to where I am now. Like, just celebrating the baby wins and everything. It's like, I can't even imagine myself just doing that again.
Bro, you were so angry. Have you forgotten how angry you were when you came to the coaching? You were like one of the angriest people. Bro, fucking hell, man. Like, some girl would just say, I'm not interested. And then you'd write this long post about that, or something would happen at work to give you a bit of stress and you'd just write this long post. And then at the end, bro, like, stuff that was 10 times more challenging and I thought was going to really piss you off, you just handled like a boss. Like, literally by the end of the coaching, you were like some Zen Buddhist monk And there were a few big things. You probably know what I'm talking about, like the random woman yelling at you and being weird, your boss and all of that stuff, the guy you worked with screaming at you in public, literally screaming at you in public. When you went through those things and you handled them like a boss, I was like, is he hiding his emotions? Is he about to like explode? And you were just like zen, peaceful, stoic. Like, I can't remember if you actually did something to try and be more peaceful. It feels like it was just kind of a consequence of you working on your goals. Like, did you try and be more peaceful, or did it just happen?
I think I tried to be a bit more like, not try to be dictated by emotions, like be more stoic, like just be like, oh, okay, like it's like what you said, this is happening. And also, like, I also bought that book, You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought. So I was reading that at the time as well.
Dude, yeah, that book changed my life as well. It's not going to maybe fully come across in a video, but like as someone who got to watch that whole journey, I don't think I can underline enough how angry you were at the start. You were just angry about everything. It felt like sometimes you were even angry at us, the coaches. Like you were just really angry a lot of the time. And then by the end, it felt like you were super peaceful. Like it was amazing.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot. Like that's how it was. That was my mentality, and like that was just brooding for like 2 years in a way, probably longer.
Yeah, man.
Obviously longer.
I want to sort of circle back a little bit more to the approaches that you did in bars, because I think a lot of people listening will hear that you just walked up to women and were able to say, "You're sexy," and "Can I kiss you?" And they'll just assume, oh yeah, this guy must be super confident. He probably had that within him the whole time. You were really freaking terrified the first few times you did that. It's not like you walked in there all confident and thinking you could do this. And when we first suggested it to you, like, hey, you can just tell women you're sexy, did it seem like a crazy thing to tell you? You can just tell them you're sexy, can I kiss you?
Yeah, 100%, because it was just, the concept was so alien. And most guys don't really do that or whatever. I think most people, they just get drunk and then hope for the best, and then body language, eye contact. Oh, is she into me? Is she not? What do I do? It's just like, no, that's a cheat code.
It's playing it safe.
Yeah.
Like most guys will play it safe. And to just be able to say, you're sexy, can I kiss you, is like you're skipping literally hours of what you just said, trying to read body language, mind read, and all of that. You're just saying, yo, can we stop fucking around? Can I kiss you, yes or no?
Yeah.
And if she says no, great. If she says yes, great. What kind of reactions did you get? You got some yeses?
Yeah. Some women said yes, and I made out with them on a couple of dates. And it was just like a game changer for me.
In that first moment when you're making out with them, like, what are you even thinking in that moment?
I remember the first time, it's like I tried doing the bullshit of kino, hand, and everything. I tried moving my legs towards them, moving my hand towards their leg, and they would just move over. And I was just like, can I kiss you? And she's like, yeah. And her eyes lit up. And then go for the kiss. It's like, holy shit, this works. Andy's right.
Bro, yeah. And you already know this, but that can apply to like literally every stage of dating. So it applies at the very start. You walk up to someone, hi, are you single? Can we chat? Do you want to chat? Yes. And then you talk. I'd love to take you out for a drink sometime. Can I get your phone number? Yes. You don't have to beat around the bush. You can just say that. You text her, yo, let's grab that drink. Are you free on Friday night at 6 p.m.? Yes. And then you go there. You're on the date. You're having a good time. Yo, you're so fucking sexy. Can I kiss you? Yes. Now you're making out. And then you say, yo, I'm having so much fun. Do you want to come back to my place and fool around? Yes. And then you do. You go back to your place and you're like, I'm so fucking into you. Like, holy shit, I want you. And she's like, I want you too. And then you're like, holy shit. And then you just, do you want to go to the bedroom with me? Yes. Now you fuck. Like you can literally just ask. And it saves so much effort, so much time, so much bullshit. The women, you know, the ones that had a reaction where they said yes, did you get the sense that they're almost kind of like pleased, or that they love that you finally had the confidence to ask, rather than what most men do where they're too afraid?
Yeah, I felt like both of us, is like a weight lifted over. It's like you can tell from the eyes, like they're lit up. They're just like, yes, please kiss me. That's something I want.
Yeah, bro, I think men forget this, but like women are people too, which means they get very nervous on a date. And a lot of the time they're sitting there thinking the same shit we're thinking. Does this guy like me? Does he think I'm attractive? Does he want to kiss me? Is he into me? And when you kind of skip that and just say like, yo, you're so fucking sexy. Can I kiss you? It's like a relief for a lot of people. The same way that if you were on a date and a woman just said to you out of nowhere, holy shit, you are so attractive. I really want to kiss you. That would be a massive relief. You're like, oh, I don't have to try as hard now. I don't have to impress her. I don't have to worry about whether or not this is going to end in what I want it to end in. I don't have to worry about, does she like me? Are we going to have sex? Is she just going to break up with me after this? Is this the first date we go on or the last date we go on? Like, you skip all of that. So, yeah, bro, I think we often forget that it's a fucking relief to other people to skip all the games. And that doesn't mean that everyone's going to say yes. Like, you had a few people say no. I guess what reactions did you get when they said no?
I mean, I'd say like, yeah, I mean, I'd say it wasn't negative. I'd say it's more neutral, like, no, okay, and just continue talking.
Bro, I've had this conversation so many times. A lot of the time when we're asking someone, can I kiss you? Or do you want to go on a date with me? Or do you want to have sex? Or any of that, we freak out and we think it's this big thing. But it's literally like you've just got a glass of water and you're like, hey, do you want this? And then she's like, no. And you're like, okay. Like kissing is like that. Hey, do you want to make out? Or you're so fucking sexy. Can I kiss you? And she's like, no. And you're like, okay. Like nothing terrible happens. The world doesn't fall down.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like the worst reaction, I wouldn't say this was the worst, but funniest. It's like I went on the date, okay, and I turned up an hour before and I didn't even realize. So I could have messaged her, yo, I'm here, okay. And then she turns up. She's like, don't worry, I'll come, okay. And so she comes like 20 minutes later. It's like by now I'd been at the date. We were chatting for like 20 minutes. And by now it felt like 40 minutes had passed. And that's why I'm like, yo, can I kiss you? And then she's like, no, I don't kiss someone that I've known for 20 minutes. I'm like, shit, I've been here for 40 minutes. She's been here for 20 minutes. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like, that's not even a bad reaction. It's literally just a statement of fact. Like, she's not even talking about you. She's talking about herself.
Yeah.
I don't like to kiss people within 20 minutes. You're like, cool. Do you want to hang out for a bit longer and then I'll ask you again? Okay.
Yeah.
And then you ask her after an hour. She's like, okay. Like a lot of the time, you know this dude from experience, but a lot of people will ask for something or offer something. You know, can I kiss you? Do you want to go on a date with me? Blah, blah, blah. And the person will say no. And they'll go, oh shit, that must mean no, never. But especially with kissing and on a date, no, that just means not yet.
Yeah.
And so you ask like half an hour later, yo, hey, I know I asked you before, but like, fucking hell, you're so hot. Can I kiss you now? A lot of the time the answer is like, I'd love that, yeah. And you're like, what changed? Well, I just wasn't fucking comfortable yet. We only knew each other 20 minutes. So yeah, not taking it personally is such a big thing. And you at the start of the coaching took like everything personally. Like you really did. And that's most people. Like every little time someone would say no, it's like, oh, I've been personally rejected. Oh, I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. By the end, I feel like that shit was more like water off a duck's back for you, bro. You were just like, whatever. Like you can say no.
Yeah. I remember it's like one of your videos, you said that it's not a personal rejection. It's just rejecting your offer, what you're giving to them, what you're offering. So I think that also helped as well.
When did that switch for you?
Probably say like the third, maybe the second or third date I had, where I was just like, okay, because I remember the first date, I was a bit beating myself up, like, oh my God, it didn't go well. Like, that's when you said you did what was within your control. You turned up to a date, you made sure to look good, you spoke for a bit, you said, yo, can I kiss you? She wasn't interested. And then the date ended, and then you moved on with your life. And then you did the same thing. That's when it's like, stop being outcome dependent. Be outcome independent.
Yeah, and stop thinking that you can control everything. Like, did you have this story in your head or this like view of dating that if you just, I'm talking about at the start when you first came to coaching, did you have this view of like, if I just do everything right, then I should get the girl. And if I don't get the girl, I must have done something wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a radical notion. It seems so obvious once you know it, but it's like not everyone wants to fuck you. And sometimes it's not even you. It's just someone showed up to a date to see if there was chemistry. There wasn't, and then they go separate ways. It's not that you did something wrong. It's not a personal rejection because every woman on the planet doesn't want to fuck you. But that's how we feel at the start. We take rejection personally. Women do too, by the way. Like a lot of women do not take it very well if a man says, no, thank you. Like, yeah, you're laughing.
Yeah, no, I've heard. I got some female friends. They tell me that I am not good at rejection. I'm not good at taking rejection. I go batshit crazy.
To be fair, bro, it's because like this is going to sound like a funny thing to say, but they probably don't get rejected that much. I think men, this is like a real generalization. I think men are just maybe used to being rejected more, whereas women are used to people saying like, you're so pretty, you're doing a good job. Wow, keep it up, sister. Yeah. And so like if they ever do have someone say, no, thanks, I'm not interested, even if the guy's nice, it feels like, I don't know, they're just out of practice. They don't know how to handle that. Whereas I feel like men are at least a little bit better at going, and not perfect, but a little bit better at going, yeah, the world rejects me sometimes. I think every guy secretly has felt that. But no, I got empathy for women that can't take rejection very well because like the world doesn't necessarily prepare them for that. It tells them that they're pretty and perfect and beautiful and all of that. And then some guy goes, I don't really think that about you. And then she's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's talk a little bit about the 5 dates that you did in 2 weeks. How did you meet the women? Was it on Tinder? Was it in person?
Yeah, so all of it was on the apps. To be honest, like I've had one date on Tinder, but the rest of them were from Hinge. What helped was just paying for the premium membership and then just spamming a lot of messages.
Bro, yeah. Are you still getting more results on Hinge these days than Tinder?
Yeah, I would say, to be honest, yeah. I don't know, maybe like Tinder can be a bit too saturated.
Yeah, and okay, tell me if this is your experience too, because it's always been my experience. I feel like women on Hinge, maybe people on Hinge, are at least a little bit more serious about meeting up, whereas Tinder, you get a lot of fucking meme accounts, you get a lot of clear, obvious bots and spam accounts and trolls. You get a lot of women just saying like, hey, fucking add me on Instagram, add me my OnlyFans. Like, Hinge seems a little bit more serious, maybe just because it's not the most popular app compared to Tinder.
Yeah.
Still pretty popular though, but yeah, I kind of prefer Hinge these days. I think I have for a while, man.
I mean, that said, though, I have had, like, I think in total 3 dates from Tinder. So I wouldn't say, like, it's blacklisted, but, like, yeah, my success was from Hinge. And it could be location related. I did find, like...
Yeah, for sure.
So when I moved to, like, a different city, I did find, like, Hinge picked up a bit more compared to, like, Hinge back there.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about how you improved your dating profiles. Man, I feel like when you came to the group, you already had a pretty solid profile, if I'm honest. Like, we tweaked a few things. We said, hey, go reshoot this photo. Got you to take out a few different photos. But was that from you just following the Tinder guide before you came to the coaching?
Yes.
Because you and your brother had pretty solid profiles.
Yeah, so what it was we do, like, a 8-hour photo shoot with an iPhone, which wasn't...
Oh, bro.
Which wasn't the best. I remember like the first photo shoot we did, we ended up taking over 700 photos with the iPhone. And there were only like 3 usable photos. So yeah, and obviously... but
listen to what you just said though. Like we took 700, 800 photos and we got 3 usable ones. That's kind of how it is at the start, bro.
Yeah.
Because like, had you had experience with taking photos of yourself?
No, 100% not.
Yeah, because like, honestly, most men don't. We just don't take photos. And so this really is a numbers game at the start. Hey, it's like go take hundreds of photos.
Yeah. And then it's like we ended up just, because we were doing it like constantly, I guess. I think it's like by the 4th or 5th, it was just like 30 photos, okay, and one of them's going to be good.
I think the takeaway message there is don't be disheartened. Anyone listening, any guys listening, if you go out to do your first couple of photo shoots and you take like 500 photos, and like one of them is okay,
it's still a win.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Because you kind of got to think of it like this. At the start, you are not good at multiple things that are happening at the start. You're probably not good at posing and looking like natural or attractive in a photo, because most men we're not thinking about that shit, man. Girls have had years of practice of doing that. You probably don't know how to take a fucking photo.
Yep.
So it's like you're learning 2 things at once. It's like, how do I be in the photo? And how do I even take the goddamn photo? Or if you have a friend or a brother or someone else doing that for you, like taking the photos, they have to figure out how to take photos. And they have to tell you how to pose because you don't know what you look like. And you really don't know until you get the feedback. And what I mean by feedback is you take a lot of photos, you look through them, and you go, man, no, these all suck. Okay, what do I have to do better? Maybe I need to put my chin up a little bit. Maybe I need to look that direction instead of straight at the camera. Maybe I need to stand more tall. Maybe my clothes don't fit very well. Maybe I should change that. Like, it's this process of feedback and iteration and fixing it. But you won't know how to do any of that until you've practiced. And seeing your photos at the end, they were really good. You took really good photos. Like, how many photo shoots do you think you did before you came to the coaching group?
I'd say maybe around 10, probably, with the iPhone. And then it's like, we then ended up getting the camera, and obviously that just cut down. It was like 20 minutes work done.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you had a good profile at the end.
Also the posing, it's like, yeah, we became natural at posing. Like, just being relaxed and everything, because it's like the first time you go out, especially in like public spaces, you think, oh, people are looking at me, people are like watching me do things. It's just like by the end we just didn't care, we just went with it. I took a friend out, okay, and it's like we went to a museum and it's just silent in a museum. And I'm there with my camera taking pictures with other people. I'm like, yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, smile. Yeah, come on. And he's just like, yo, I'm feeling like you're being obnoxious. I'm like, fuck what everyone says, okay? Just continue.
Did you guys do anything to get over that fear of doing it in public, or literally just doing it helped with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think literally going out and doing it. There were times while we were taking the photos, and then we just feel a bit, oh my God, there's too many people, and just cut it, okay? And then move to a new location, maybe move to a quieter place, move to a busier place. One thing we found is that, like, you know, if you're not feeling relaxed or whatever, it's better to just take a break, just relax or do something else, then maybe go back to it.
Bro, yeah, like, it doesn't mean you're a pussy if you stop. I say the same thing when you're approaching women. Like, if you're out there on the front lines trying to talk to women, if you walk around for like 2 hours and you're just like, I can't do this, man, you're allowed to go and sit on a bench and chill. You're allowed to go and have some lunch, grab a coffee, grab a drink. You're allowed to just go home if you want to. Like, you succeeded by trying. It doesn't matter if you weren't able to like massively perform on that day. Like, it's still a success. But I think a lot of the time, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of, especially with hitting on women and getting laid and all of that, a lot of the driving force for most men, and probably most men listening, is like beating yourself up.
Yep.
Like, I'm a pussy, I have to do this. That was definitely you at the start. What was that transition like? Was it the coaching that helped? Was it something else you did? That book, You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like what you always say, like, celebrate the wins we have, even if it's like a baby step or whatever. And then also, like, with each post I post, each post I put on there, it's like everyone would be like, oh, well done. Oh, nice one. You managed to do this. You managed to do that. There's some stuff where I posted where I wasn't even thinking much about it. And people are like, yo, that's amazing what you did. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Okay, this is hilarious timing. You know, in the coaching group, there's a guy in there right now, because you only just left recently, a guy that starts with V.
Yeah.
Yep. So him. So the big muscular, bald guy, him. Bro, he wrote this post yesterday, and he just, same as you're saying, he was just like, yeah, I did this. Taylor, you know, one of the other coaches, and me and Cam all jumped on that post, and we were like, bro, this is insane what you've just done. I don't think you understand how big a victory this is. This is insane. I can't believe you've been able to do this. And then he read through all of that, and he replied, and he was like, I guess I didn't realize that it was a big deal. I don't know. I was so busy focused on the future, or focused on thinking I'm not doing enough, or I'm not good enough, or I have to do more. I got to hustle. I got to grind. I didn't even realize what I just accomplished today. This is exactly why why I have accountability partners and coaches and Emmy and friends and all of that. I do the same thing, bro. I will like get to the end of the day and be like, oh, that was an okay day. And then something I do every night is I write down, kind of like you guys do in the coaching group, I will write down every success that I had that day. Like, I do it with myself, like I journal. And as I read through all of that, I'm like, did I really do all of this today? I forgot about all of this. It's like you forget your own victories. I feel like you almost need either someone else or accountability to yourself, but it's easy with other people. Someone else to be like, yo, hold up. What you just did is fucking incredible. And you're like, really? I didn't think it was good enough.
Yeah.
It's so easy to feel like you're not good enough, and like what you're doing is not good enough, even when you're doing amazing shit, which you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what was it? When I went on a second date with a girl, okay, and I'm like, yo, would you like to come back to mine? She's like, why? I'm like, to kiss and fool around. And she's like, oh, I don't have sex on the second date. And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. We can kiss, cuddle, and dry hump. And we did. She came back to mine. We kissed, cuddled, and dry humped.
Do you know how many people would say, like, do you want to come back to my place? Oh, I don't want to do that. And then they just be like, I give up. I failed. I got rejected. She doesn't like me. I'm not going to see her ever again. She doesn't think I'm a man. And it's like, no, she's literally just telling you, she's literally expressing to you, that's a boundary for me. Like, I don't want to have sex. That doesn't mean give up and fucking quit and hate me and think you're not good enough and all of that. It's just, I don't want to do that. Then you can keep talking and be like, oh, is there something else you want to do? Which is brilliant. That's exactly what you did. Well, do you want to just make out and fool around and dry hump? And she's like, yeah, that's amazing. Like, so many guys fucking give up at the first hurdle. They think that a woman not wanting to kiss them means she hates me and I'm ugly and she thinks I'm a loser and I should never fucking see another woman ever again. Now I should probably just go kill myself. And it's like, no, she just doesn't want to have sex or kiss. But there's other things. The same thing, bro, if a woman's on her period. So many times a woman will just be like, oh, just maybe not tonight. And then you ask questions. You're like, oh, fair enough. But like, how come? And then, she kind of comes out, oh, it's like that time of the month. Do you know how many times I've said, well, I don't mind if you're on your period. Is there something else you want to do? Do you want to fool around or something? You can keep your panties on, stay nice and clean and feel good about yourself. Or we could have sex in the shower if you want to. And if there's a mess, I don't care. We can leave the lights off and, fool around and so we can't see anything. Do you know how many times I've had that conversation and a woman is fucking grateful that I didn't give up? She's like, thank you. I had a really nice night. Like, that's my question to you. Did you guys have fun dry humping and doing crazy shit?
Hell yeah, we did.
Because you didn't fucking give up. She probably respects you more because you're like, hey, well, what about this other shit? Yeah, let's do it.
And then it's like also like then she started talking about sex and just being open and honest about her kinks. It's just that was the last thing I was expecting, but yeah.
Yeah, man. People are just expressing preferences or boundaries or saying I'm not ready yet. That doesn't mean I'll never be ready or I think you're an ugly fucking loser who should go die somewhere, which is how a lot of men take it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't have sex on the second date. Like, do you know how many times I've had that conversation with a woman where she's like, I don't have sex on the second date. I'm like, oh, sweet, cool. I usually do. That's how I like to do it. Like, when do you like to have sex? And then she's like, sometimes the third date or the fourth date, or if I'm not really feeling a lot of chemistry, maybe the fifth date. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, do you feel like that builds up more anticipation if you wait a bit longer? Or do you sometimes feel like the chemistry dies a bit? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, sometimes I like waiting 5 times because it builds up anticipation. Sometimes if I wait that long, yeah, there has been a couple of guys that the chemistry just kind of dies. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Like, what do you want to do with me? Like, do you know when you want to have sex with me? No pressure if you don't. Like, how are you feeling? Like, where are you at right now? And then we just fucking talk about it. And like you said, a lot of the time that conversation, because you're just being chill and you're not putting any fucking pressure and you're literally saying, that's cool. If you don't want to fuck me, don't fuck me. I don't want you to have sex with me unless you want to. It would be fucking weird if you had sex with me if you didn't want to. Because you're chill, people can relax and then they can start talking about kink because what you've shown them is that you're non-judgmental. You're not going to judge her and pressure her and ignore her boundaries and think, no, you should fuck me tonight, bitch. Like, what are you doing? You're chill. And so, of course, she can talk about her kinks and sex with you because you've already shown that you're a chill fucking dude, which makes the sex better. I have this conversation so many times. Like, a lot of dudes have this neediness, maybe a lot of people have this neediness to like rush and hurry up and get to sex, even if the person isn't 100% comfortable with it. They're just thinking, I got to get that pussy. I got to get that notch in my belt. I got to shove towards it. Do you know how much better the sex is if you just fucking listen to the other person? And if they say, I don't want to have sex tonight, you're like, cool. Because now they open up about the kinkiest, wildest shit that they've never told anyone else. And now you get to try that with them. So yeah, man, that's such a huge win, bro. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I love how much courage that you show with all of these women. Is it a weird paradigm shift to go from like, I have to have all this game and I have to know how to kino and escalate and I have to do all that, to just, I just walk up to every woman and basically say, yo, do you want to date? Do you want to have sex? And the ones that say yes, we fool around. How much of a paradigm shift is that?
Yeah, I I feel like that's what most of YouTube is. It's just like, yo, game. And it's just like, when I tried doing that, like I wasn't getting results. It was like beating around the bush. And then it's just like, when you're being direct, like you get what you want. Or even you find out what the answer is.
Yeah, man. There's two things about like being hardcore into like game and sending signals and trying to read minds and doing all of this sub communication, all of that shit, and pickup lines and blah, blah, blah. There's two reasons why it's less effective. Number one is it takes way longer. It is infinitely quicker to just walk up to a bunch of women in a bar and be like, yo, you're sexy. Are you single? Like that takes what, 10 seconds? And she can say, no, I'm not single. And you'd be like, beautiful. I hope you have a really nice night. I hope you and your boyfriend are really happy together. And she's like, oh, thank you. And then you walk to the next woman and say it again. That takes max 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's like you could do that with maybe you take a little break in between. In 5 minutes, you could have hit on 5 girls. And one of them will say, wow, you're confident. And you're like, I'm really not. I'm just honest. And she's like, no, you're incredibly confident to come and tell me that I'm sexy. And you're like, I'm nervous as fuck. And she's like, I don't care. You're confident. And yes, I'm single. And you're like, cool, let's talk. You talk for 2 minutes. You go, yo, by the way, can I fucking kiss you? And then she'll go, okay. And then you kiss her. And now in like 15 minutes, you've hit on 5 or 6 women and you're now making out with one of them. That is infinitely more efficient than talking to one girl for the entire evening, trying to read her fucking sub-communication. And then you get to the end of the night, you've had a couple of beers, and finally you work up the courage to be like, yo, anyway, can I get your number? She's like, I have a boyfriend.
Yep.
And you're like, what the fuck? Why didn't I just ask at the start, bro? Like,
yeah, I know, exactly. That's like when I was telling my coworkers, like my whole dating, like going on these dates and stuff, that was the shit they gave me. Telling, no, you need to go and talk to them. It could be like a 3-hour conversation. I'm like, what?
Bro, it's like, okay, here's the thing. I agree with your coworkers that like talking to people is fun, a great way to build a connection. You can build intimacy. It makes the sex better if you've talked to someone. But why would you do that with people that you don't know if they're single and you don't know if they're into you? That's all we're saying. We're saying insert one extra step at the start, which is just, are you single and are you into me, or am I wasting my fucking time talking to you?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Just insert that and then do whatever the fuck you want after that. You want to talk for 3 hours, then great, do that. You want to say, can I kiss you within 2 minutes? Do that. But like, at least fucking check at the start. It's like, imagine if someone just walked up to me on the street and started trying to sell me a used car. And he just starts going like, bro, we got this amazing car. And we'd go through all of that. And I'd be like, I don't want a car, bro. I have no interest in a car ever. Like, but he gave me a 3-hour speech. Or someone comes up to me. Imagine some gay dude comes up to me and just starts fucking like cracking on to me and shit. And like, he's just making all these moves and perfect fucking smooth pickup lines. And then finally he's like, anyway, hot stuff, you bold fucking beautiful ginger man, Andy. I'd love to take you out for a drink sometime. And then I'd be like, I'm straight though, man. Like, why'd you just waste an hour of our time? Especially if he was doing it indirectly. Like, he's just I think he's trying to be friends. And I'm like, oh yeah, I could always use another friend. This guy seems chill. Fuck yeah, bro. I'd love to be your friend. And then he's like, actually, I don't want to be friends. Are you single? Like, can I take you out? And it's like, no, you just wasted my time. And that's how most people do dating, bro. It's like they will fucking sub-communicate shit. And they're like, you got to drop hints. Did you drop hints? Has he picked up the hints? Has she picked up the hints? What did you do? Whoa, I got to play it safe. I got to try and find out if they're single. How do I know if they're single? I got to fucking ask questions. It's like, why don't you just say, yeah, are you single? And then they're like, yes. Cool. Are you interested in me? But I feel like that takes a fair bit of vulnerability. Like, did you feel that vulnerability, that like fucking fear of like literally saying, can I kiss you? Like, you're really, or it feels like you're really putting yourself on the line the first couple of times you say that. You're like, please don't hurt me. Please don't attack me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like blew up the fear of rejection, but rejection, it's not really a rejection. It's just like, you're just asking somebody yes or no. It's like, no, so what? Then what? What do? You just keep on drinking or you keep on talking to more people.
Yeah. And was it you or was it your brother who hit on someone and said, like, can I kiss you? And then that woman tried to get him a job. Was that you or your brother?
No, that was my brother. Yeah.
Okay, that was the craziest fucking coolest story, right? Like, he hit on this girl. He's like, can I kiss you? And she's like, no, I have a boyfriend. And then they just keep talking. And then he starts talking about how he's looking for a job. And she's like, oh, I know someone, my brother or whatever, or my boyfriend or something.
My brother's. I think,
right?
Yeah. Because he works in recruitment.
Like, beautiful shit happens.
Here's my email address.
I've had this conversation with so many coaching clients where they're worried like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get rejected. And I'm like, no, you don't know how many times if you're just peaceful with how you take that rejection. Like if you just don't get butt hurt and you're like, oh, cool, I hope you and your boyfriend are happy. Oh, cool, like I hope you have a great night. Oh, cool, like I love that you have boundaries. Yeah, that's cool. Like, thank you for saying no to me. You're actually helping me be more resilient. Like, I appreciate that. If you say any of this shit to women, or to anyone, I guess, you don't know how many times, because you were so grateful, that person ends up adding to your life in a way you never could have guessed. Like the number of coaching clients who've come through the program and gone, holy shit, this woman is now like my best friend. Like literally we're self-improvement partners now. Like she's massively added to my life. We had one guy who met a woman who offered to help him move. Like she's that kind of like bro, I guess. She's like, I'm going to help you fucking move and shit. Just because he handled the rejection, like didn't take it as a personal rejection. Like beautiful shit happens if people would just get a little bit less butt hurt. We even had a guy who, you know, a woman turned him down and then she's like, but my friend here is single. Why don't you talk to her? And it's like, fuck yeah. Now she's my wingman just because I didn't get butt hurt, you know?
Yeah.
Had you done a lot of like night game before? Like had you gone out to bars and clubs and stuff much?
I mean, I never really went out and asked girls, and ironically, it's like the one thing like I mainly do now. Before the program, it's like me and my brother, we would just say, yo, we want to be hitting on girls, okay, at nighttime, okay, night game. But like, it seems super tough. And it's like, no, it's actually pretty simple. You just ask what you want.
Yeah. I feel like it's the environment where people find it the easiest to be honest to. Maybe just because everyone's drunk. And a lot of people who go out to bars and clubs, they are going out to meet people.
Yeah.
Like that is where, if you just think of a lot of like normal average people, they're like, where am I going to meet people? The first thing they think is like bars and clubs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's the best venue for that, but that's like the first thing people think. So yeah, man, it's like the perfect environment to just be like, yo, you're sexy. Can I talk to you? Do you want to chat? Are you single? Can I kiss you?
Yeah.
What helped you get over that fear and start doing it?
I'd say the accountability, like saying on the group, like, I'm trying to work onto this. Everyone being like, yo, you can go, man. Keep doing it. Keep pushing. Oh, well done. That's a win. Yeah, that thing that you didn't think was a win, that's a win. And then I think it was just like working towards a goal.
Bro, yeah, like so many people in life are playing life on like nightmare mode, like really hard mode. Just going like, I'm going to do everything by myself, especially when it comes to dating, which is something that does have a lot of vulnerability with it. And people do usually get very emotional and like hurt and fuck, I got rejected. That's awful. But so many people are playing that on hard mode by doing it by themselves. Either join some sort of coaching program or go on a forum or get some friends together and say, guys, I fucking need you to support me because holy shit, I'm going to go and talk to girls and this is terrifying. Sometimes you can even talk to colleagues at your workplace if you're close with them, although like you said, yours gave you maybe not the best advice, where they're like, go talk to a woman for 3 hours and don't tell her that you like her. No. I mean, okay, no, to be fair, that would be better than nothing. That's way better than sitting at home.
Yeah, true that. 3 hours, like, for real?
I know. And imagine she's just being polite the whole time, bro. There was this time years and years ago that I was sitting and waiting for a couple of friends. We were all going to hang out, and I was just like sitting in the middle of like a shopping mall, like a shopping center, sitting on this bench waiting for my bros to hang out. And I'd gotten there like super early. So I was chilling for like half an hour. I was just like fucking around on my phone. And I see this guy hitting on this girl, like very obviously hitting on her. And I kind of recognized someone else that was with him who's like a pickup artist, like coach. So I was like, oh, sweet. Like he's hitting on this woman. This is amazing. So I'm sitting there. I can kind of hear what they're saying, but not really. But I'm watching. Bro, I watched for like 20 fucking minutes and they're still talking. And I'm thinking like, damn, this must be the world's best conversation. Like these two are fucking falling in love or some shit. But she's kind of got her arms folded like this the whole time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not going to read massively into body language, but she's kind of like turning away from him. And she keeps saying it kind of like going to go. And then he'll quickly like say something. And then she'll kind of like lean back in. And
yeah,
I don't know. I try not to read too much into body language, but it didn't look like the most interesting, smooth conversation. It looked like she was being polite rather than happy. I couldn't hear the conversation, but that was my impression. And then my friends showed up and I was like, bro, I think he's like hitting on that girl. I'm not fucking making this up, bro. We sat there for another 45 minutes. I was like, let's just hang out here, bro. I want to see like where this goes. And eventually they just leave and no phone numbers exchanged hands. Like he never got his phone out while watching the whole time. I think he just had like at least a 1 hour conversation. It might have been even longer because when I got there, they were already talking.
Yeah.
And just, it's great that you're socializing. That's fucking incredible. I'm never, ever going to shit on some dude who's hitting on a woman.
Just trying. Yeah.
Fucking amazing. But if I could get in there, I'd be like, bro, like, did you ask her for her phone number? Did you ask her if she's single? Obviously, like, it didn't seem like he did. Like, maybe he did and I just didn't hear it. But why didn't you just have a 10-minute conversation with a woman, which would still be really long for a stranger that you just met? But why don't you have a 10-minute conversation with like 15 women? That would improve your social skills a lot more. And one or two of those 15 women would be like, holy shit, yes, I'm into you. Yes, I think you're cool. Because he was a good looking guy. He was like an attractive dude. And you just were putting all your effort into one person who may or may not have even been single. And I don't know all the details, but it was a long conversation. And you see that a lot. Guys will spend an entire night talking to a girl only to get to the end of it and be like, oh, can I get your phone number? She's like, no. And then you're like, man, you could have talked to like 10 women in that night instead of one that wasn't single. Any advice for guys that want to start going out there to bars and like hitting on women, but maybe they're terrified?
I'd say just go out there, think about hitting on women. Just do Andy's approach guide, anxiety guide. Like, go out there, just set yourself a goal of just being like, okay, I'm just going to go to this bar, okay, spend 10 minutes or whatever. Just think about hitting on a woman. And then if you keep doing that consistently, then you can either, raise the goal or even just like you'll find one day you'll just be like, holy shit, what am I doing? Okay, let me just go and talk to a girl. Be frustrated like me and just do it in the end.
And that's how you did it. Hey, you just like went to bars a bunch of times and you were like, I can't fucking do this. And then you just randomly did it out of frustration of going there so many times, not being able to do it.
Yeah.
In those first few moments, like the first few days when you were going out to bars but not being able to talk to women, did it feel like you were failing? Or did it feel like, okay, I'm making some progress towards being able to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was when like the shift, the mindset shift from like beating myself up to, okay, this is the bare minimum I can do. I'm going to do the bare minimum. That's a win. I think that like that enabled me to like then just ask out women and just say, hey, you're sexy, can I kiss you? Like that's become a part of me now.
You were pretty good at being, I guess you would call it humble. Like a lot of people struggle to just take a little baby step. They're like, this isn't good enough. What is the point of me just going to a bar and sitting there and not talking to anyone? This isn't good enough. I need to go and talk to women. But then they'll beat themselves up and then they just don't talk to anyone. You were pretty good. I know you struggled with it, but you were pretty good at saying, once you got into this mindset, okay, at least I fucking tried. At least I went out to a bar. This isn't massive progress. I don't feel like I changed the world or something. I'm not a changed man who can talk to anyone, but at least I'm fucking taking the steps. I think we have this like almost fetish of being like the alpha male Chad who can just fucking conquer his fears. And it's like, yeah, but that guy built that. And it was by just doing a bunch of little baby steps and slowly going through that fear. Most people don't take like a massive leap through their fears. Like most people don't just jump off a cliff and be like, I can fucking do it now. It's like, it's usually not that sexy. It's like a tiny little baby step each time, which doesn't look cool. It doesn't look interesting. You don't look cool sitting in a bar by yourself, not being able to talk to someone. You feel like a fucking loser, but it's progress.
Yeah. And you're doing what 99% of guys aren't doing.
Bro, yeah. That's why I tried to say, I hope it came across, but I tried to say any guy that's sitting on a woman, I will always give that guy incredible credit. Any guy that goes to a bar and talks to a woman for 3 hours and doesn't even work up the courage to ask for her phone number, you still fucking did something courageous.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's a bit different. Like, working towards like asking her out and then having a deliberate 3-hour conversation where it goes nowhere and then maybe asking for the phone number.
But you'll still figure out that goes nowhere. That's why I say I still think that's like, it's still somewhat helpful advice. Like think about a guy that would go to a bar. Like if someone followed what your colleagues told you to do and they go to a bar and they talk to girls for 3 hours, they would do that for like 2 months. And they'd have a whole bunch of conversations that don't really go anywhere. Like the girl after 3 hours is like, oh, I thought you just wanted to be friends with me because you were just talking to me for 3 hours. And then you asked me out. That would happen a bunch of times. And then it'd go, maybe I should just ask them earlier if they're single. Like he'll figure it out by getting frustrated a bunch of times. He'll go do that 100 times and be like, this sucks. Why am I having 3-hour conversations with people that have a boyfriend? So he'll walk up to girls and be like, yo, do you have a boyfriend? And she'll be like, yeah. Okay, fuck your boyfriend. I hate him. Don't do that. But I'm saying that's what lots of guys will do. They're like, fuck your boyfriend. Go to the next girl. Do you have a boyfriend? Yeah, I do. Do you have a boyfriend? And she's like, no, I don't. But why are you yelling at me? He's like, oh, okay, fine. Sorry for yelling at you. Do you want to talk for 3 hours? And then they talk for 3 hours and they fall in love and get married. But like it's still progress, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the point of the coaching program is not to say what you were doing before was wrong. It just maybe wasn't super efficient.
Yeah.
Like there's faster ways of doing shit. But I will always say, as long as someone is trying to fucking improve, that's progress, bro. Because you figure it out.
Yeah, true that.
Something you really figured out, being more upfront and honest, like makes such a difference. And something I love that you said that I'd love to hear your story. You said other people started claiming that I'm using pickup lines when I wasn't. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember telling, like, a few people, like, saying, like, what I did, how I went up to a girl, okay, said, hey, you're sexy, and then talk for a bit or whatever, then say, can I kiss you? People are like, nah, you're using pickup lines, bro. You're using pickup lines. Like, yo, what are you doing? And it's just like, you're not going to find, like, well, what do you think you're doing? I'm like, these aren't pickup lines. Like,
what are you supposed to do instead?
yeah, I know, exactly.
What are you supposed to say instead? I'm like being as honest as I can be. I find you attractive. I would like to kiss you. That's a pickup line. That would be like if you went to a car salesman. He's like, hi, in order to pay my bills, I would like to offer you this car. Would you like to buy it? And he's like, don't use pickup lines on me, fucking car salesman. Like, what are you supposed to say instead?
Yeah. It's like when I've even said, like, you know, when I was saying, you want to come back to mine to kiss and fool around. People are like, bro, I wouldn't say that. I would say Netflix and chill. Or I'd say like something else.
That's a pickup line.
Yeah, I know.
That's a pickup
line.
Exactly. Yeah, no, dude, I've had this so many times where like, especially this one girl, I was like really honest and upfront with her. And she was like, are you playing games with me right now? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm just telling you I'd like, do you want to come back to my place and have sex? That's not a game. I'm telling you what I want, and I'm asking you if you want the same thing. If we both want it, we will do it. If you don't want it, we won't do it. And she's like, but is this a game right now? And I was like, I can't be bothered playing games. Look, I'll be real with you. I played games for years. I got so sick of the bullshit, and now I would rather just tell the truth. And then she got really confused, and she's like, wait, is this a game? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, is you saying that you're not playing games? Is you being honest? Is this a game? And I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, me being honest and telling you everything up front is a game. And some people will see it as that, bro. Like, a weird thing happens when you start being really honest. People are so confused by it because it doesn't happen that often, especially not in dating. A lot of them will think you're trying to manipulate them with honesty.
Yeah.
And you can be like, look, I get it. I know sometimes people pretend to be honest to manipulate, but I promise I'm not doing that. If you don't believe me, that's okay. We can just go separate ways, like no hard feelings. And then they're still distrustful. And you're like, what could I possibly say right now to convince you? I don't want to even convince you. There's nothing I could say that would make you feel better. So yeah, that's not uncommon, bro. Like, which is funny from your point of view because you're just trying to be honest.
Yeah.
But it is a good screening tool, I feel like. Because if you're this honest and someone doesn't take it well, they're just basically showing you, I want to try and phrase this in a nice way, but maybe they're showing you that they have like trust issues. And that's probably not the person that you want to have sex with or a relationship with because they're still going to have those trust issues. Yeah. And nothing against that person. It's just you probably want to go find the person that likes your honesty. And have you met many people like that?
Yeah, I'd say I have. Yeah, I'd say like just being upfront and honest is like you can still work towards an end goal. It's like no one can like criticize you for being honest, like what your intentions are.
Well, they can, but you don't have to.
I don't know. Like my response is like from being upfront and honest. It's not like they've said, "Oh, how dare you say that?" or "How dare you want to do that?" It's just like, "No, thanks." Or "Yeah, okay." But people can't really, because you're being upfront and honest, they can't critique you. They'll just say whether they're interested or not.
Because you're just stating the truth. And who the fuck's going to argue with the truth? Someone might not like the truth, as in you might say, I find you sexy, or I would like to kiss you. Can I kiss you? She might not like that. And someone might say, oh, no, you can't say that. But it's like, you can then just say, but it's the truth. Like, I'm not saying you have to sleep with me. Don't sleep with me. I don't want you to if you don't want to. That would be weird. But it's still the truth that I find you sexy. I think a lot of guys have this fear of being creepy or being a pervert, but it's like, then just tell the truth. You are a man and you happen to find that woman attractive. That's the truth. It's not about you personally. It's just the truth. Like, you're pointing at something that's almost greater than you. You're like, I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah. Telling someone you're sexy, like, I mean, if someone's like willing to argue with that, like, surely they're not worth your time. I've had that on a dating app where I wrote, hey, I think you're sexy. And someone goes, I got a reply from a girl saying, that's a really weird thing to say to someone, saying you're sexy. And I'm like, how's that weird? How's that weird? It's the truth. I literally said that. She goes, telling a stranger you think is sexy is really weird, strange behavior. And I'm just thinking, yeah, this person is not worth my time. Like, that's been like that's been the only negative experience, but that's on an app, so it doesn't even count. It's not really real life as I count it.
And what you find as you take a more honest or authentic or upfront approach to dating, and I've definitely found this with this YouTube channel, sometimes no matter how hard you try to be likable and to do the right thing, someone will dislike what you've done. Like, someone somewhere will say what you've done is wrong. I will phrase that another way. You can never please everybody, no matter how hard you try. And believe me, I tried really hard for the first 3 years of my YouTube channel. I tried so hard to get 0 negative comments. That was kind of one of my missions. I was like, I want to get to a point where I don't get a single negative comment. I thought that was possible. Wasn't I adorable and naive? But I literally tried so hard. I was like, I'm going to phrase everything as nicely as I can. If I think that something that I've just said might be taken out of context or someone might misunderstand, I will explain. And I would do 1 or 2 hour videos sometimes where I would just spend the entire hour trying not to have someone criticize anything. Like, I was trying to just put good vibes out in the world and not upset anybody. And I did some videos, bro. Like, I did one called Love is All Around Us. I literally said, there are opportunities for love everywhere. Like, all of you deserve love. Nobody deserves to be alone. I promise you can do it. It's just like a nice fucking video. That got some really negative comments. Then I did another video saying women are really nice. Kind of what you already experienced by hitting on lots of women. I literally just said, I promise you, if you walk up and you're honest and you're polite and you're nice, women are going to be really nice to you. I promise they won't reject you brutally. The vast majority of them are really nice. There might be 1 or 2 exceptions here or there. That's okay. Most women are really nice. That got lots of negative criticism. And so at that point, I realized nothing I do will ever make everyone like me. The same thing in dating. And so then you're just left with the question, okay, what do I want to do? And if some people don't like that, that's okay. They're not for me. They clearly fucking don't want to date me anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I will go find the people that like my honesty. Because there are, you know this, a lot of women who, when you say you're sexy, what do they say back?
Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Like, and it's such an obvious, you know it now because you've done it enough times. You've told enough women you're sexy, you're pretty, you're cute. Hi, can I kiss you? I like you, blah, blah, blah. But when you first start this shit, you can't imagine that any women will be grateful for it. Yeah. At least that was me. I don't know if you were the same. No, I just thought so. If they're just okay with it, then I'm fine with that.
I remember you saying it's just women want to be told they're sexy. They want to be told they're beautiful.
Bro.
They spend hours on their looks. They wear that particular dress. They debate about it. They look at all those makeup videos and shit. And it's just of course they want to be told they look beautiful.
Yeah, and then guys are so obsessed with but what if I'm creepy? It's one woman might find you creepy, but she's just having a bad day, or she doesn't like strangers telling her that. Fair enough, but you're not going to know that until you go and tell women. And if 99% of them like when you say, hey, you're really cute, or you're pretty, or yo, you look really sexy tonight, especially in a bar or a club. Women love to be told that they're sexy in a bar or a club. Not every woman, yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. There is nothing you can say to 100% of women that 100% of them will like. Sometimes you can even just walk up to someone and say, hey, excuse me, do you have directions? And they'll get weird and freaked out because they're socially uncomfortable or something, or they're an introvert or whatever. Try going up to anyone and saying anything during COVID times, during all the lockdowns. You couldn't talk to anyone in public. They'd freak out. And so that's less to do with you and more to do with the other person. And so your only mission is to try and be as honest as you can, as kind as you can, as respectful and polite as you can. If someone's not interested or they act a bit weird, you just say, hey, it seems like, you're a bit uncomfortable. Do you want me to leave? That's it. And then you just do the best you can. But like you said, the majority of women are like, thank you. I just spent 3 hours on my fucking makeup. Thanks. I appreciate you noticing. I'm glad someone fucking did. Like, yeah, there's this like fear of, I don't know, being creepy, fear of objectification.
Yeah.
People like being objectified as long as you're doing it in a respectful way. And that might sound like a weird thing to say. Like, I want to be objectified. I would fucking love it if a woman came up and was like, damn, you fucking hot piece of ass. I'd be like, do you want me to do a little twirl for you? Like, hell yeah. Like, I'll fucking shake it for you, baby. Like, you tell me what you need. Like, daddy will provide. Like, damn, objectify me, Or like, we label certain things as objectification. Like, if I came up to someone and I said, I really love your clothes. Like, you have really good fashion sense. That's not objectifying. If I came up and said, damn, you seem really intelligent. You seem like such an intelligent person. People would be like, oh yeah, that's not objectifying. But for some reason, if we focus on the physical and we're like, I love your exterior, you have a really nice body, or you have, like, you got it going on, you're sexy. People get a bit touchy about that, maybe because there's the implied like danger of like, oh fuck, is he going to make a move on me? Like, oh, but yeah, that seems to be the one thing that we call objectifying, but nothing else. Yeah. Like everything else is fine. You can say that I'm smart or a good guitar player, and I won't take that as objectification.
Yeah.
But yeah, good job objectifying people, bro.
Yeah. Anytime. We keep doing it. Never stop.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, and I think if you pair it with what we said, if someone is uncomfortable, you just go, oh, you seem uncomfortable, that's cool. Or if someone says, no, I have a boyfriend, you're like, sweet, I hope you guys are happy. Like, or if they're not okay with it, if they're like, oh, don't say that to me, like, oh, my bad, I hope you have a nice night. I didn't mean to offend you. Have a beautiful night. And then you leave. Like, great, yeah, brilliant, good.
You've cut it.
So yeah. You used to call yourself a loser a lot, and you felt like a big loser. And then I think you got a lot better at like recognizing your victories and stuff like that. And you would objectify yourself for everything, like beat yourself up for everything. Even the fact that you joined the coaching program, I don't know if you remember, but you beat yourself up for that at the start. You were like, am I such a loser that I have to pay some guy to fix me? Like, what was going on there, man? Like,
yeah, 100%. Because I look around and I think, but a lot of people other people don't pay for like a coaching program, or other people don't need it. It's just thinking.
Yeah, and other people are not happy.
Yeah, I know. That's the realization, though. Other people just settle with mediocre.
Yeah. Okay, why didn't you? Like, what was going on in your brain that you're like, I don't want to just settle with the first woman who gives me attention?
Yeah, because I wouldn't have been happy. I knew deep down I wouldn't be happy with that. And hearing other people's stories of how they just stumbled with someone and then they just continue that relationship. Like, you can kind of see it from other people, like some married people, okay? It's like, you can tell, you just think, how the fuck do they get together?
Yeah, I guess just a lack of options in a lot of cases. Did you have people like that, like friends or colleagues or?
Well, I've seen like family and like that. And yeah, I've seen friends I've had friends like fucking tell me, I've had loads of people tell me, yo, why don't you let things happen naturally, okay? It's just like, okay, how did you have your relationship? Oh, I just stumbled upon him. Oh, yeah, she was my flatmate. Oh, she was this person. And yeah, we've been together for like this many years. It's just, are you happy?
I know, bro. I'm always cautious of taking advice from someone who literally isn't happy or isn't very good at the thing that they're doing. And there are exceptions to that. Someone could be like a basketball coach, even if they're not that good at basketball. But like, I want to know in a relationship, if I'm going to take advice from someone, my first question is, are you two happy? And if you had other options, like if other people were interested in you and you could just take a pill and reset things, would you? And if the answer is like, yeah, I would rather be with someone else than my partner, then it's like, I'm going to be really cautious taking advice from you, unless the advice is like this. Like sometimes people can give great advice when they say what not to do. Like if someone was to say to you, look, I'm not super happy with my partner. Here's the reasons why. maybe try and avoid those things or do something different, that's great advice. That's fucking brilliant. But if someone's like, hey, here's exactly how I got into this unhappy relationship, here's how you can do it too. Bro, you know what the biggest example of this is? Like Indian or Asian families where the parents will like bully the kid into being like a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. Like Imogen's father is like that. He's Chinese. They'll bully them into like, you have to do this career path. And then the kid will say like, why? Because this is how you have to be happy. And it's like, Imogen had this realization too with her father. Her father's a doctor. And at some point she asked him, are you happy? And he was like, no. And then she's like, then why am I going to be a doctor like you? What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And he like overworks and he complains about his job and he likes parts of it, but he's definitely like a stress head. Yeah. And so it's like, why am I going to do the thing that you're doing that made you unhappy? And people do that in relationships. Hey, like, do what I did, but you're unhappy. Yeah. Just do it anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people almost don't want to be happy, or it's like, I don't know, there's such this like stigma and fear around being single that people would literally rather be unhappy with a partner than happy by themselves. It's like they can't imagine being happy being single.
Yeah. Like fear of being alone, I guess. But then you're not happy alone, then how are you going to make someone else happy?
Bro, yeah. Did you know that when you first came to the coaching? Or was that something you kind of picked up in coaching? That like you got to be a happy, not complete, but like you got to be a happy person and that will massively boost your dating results?
Yeah, something I picked up in the coaching. It's just like, you can't allow external factors to make you happy. You have to be happy first.
Yeah, actually, I think you wrote that in your final post, didn't you? Something like that.
Yeah, like all these dating would improve my life. I'd be happy. I'd have my shit together. Say, no, it's like, no, you just meet new people and everything. But like deep down, you're not going to be really happy. I remember asking you, I'm like, when am I going to be happy? And you're just like, when you allow yourself to be.
Bro, yeah. I was like, you're allowed to be happy right now. What do you mean, when am I going to be happy? Right this second, if you choose to be. I think sometimes you just don't know how to be.
I mean, I've even seen like videos, interviews where celebrities go, yeah, I set myself goals, but once I accomplish them, I feel nothing. Like, it's like that's it. You don't feel like you've done anything great. Like, and then you have another goal and you complete it and you don't feel like anything's happened. Everything still feels the same.
So anyone listening, Google gold medal depression. And Michael Phelps talked about it the most, but a bunch of like Olympians have talked about this, the depression that they get after winning a gold medal. It's fucking common to the point where there's literally a phrase for it, gold medal depression, because it's a peak achievement. Like you've done something pretty special on the planet if you win a gold medal, especially if you win a few, like someone like Michael Phelps. I think he won like 23 or something. So you think that this thing is going to be like the peak of human achievement, and it is. It's pretty fucking good, let's be honest. You achieve it, and then you're like, what now? What do I do now? Especially because a lot of Olympians are relatively young. They're in their 20s, sometimes younger, sometimes maybe 30s, but like they're not old. And so then they're like, holy shit, I have like 50 to 60 years left on this planet. What the fuck do I do with my time? Also, I thought that gold medal was going to bring me happiness. And it does. It's a big accomplishment. But if you're not able to appreciate every step of the journey to get there, like if you tell yourself the lie the entire time of, I won't be happy until I reach the gold medal, and then I'll magically just be happy and all my problems will be solved and everything will be perfect. Bro, you're in for a big wake-up call when you hit that gold medal. But the way to really enjoy the whole process is every single little tiny step along the way, celebrate that, like you learned how to. And then when you get the gold medal, celebrate that, be grateful for that, share that with other people. And then you feel like you've enjoyed every single minute up until that gold medal. So then after the gold medal, you're still equally happy. But yeah, that's a big one, bro.
Yeah. Wait, so what's the cure then? What do they say about that? The cure to the gold medal depression? Just allowing yourself to be happy? Gratitude.
Yeah. It's literally just gratitude. Appreciating every moment up until that point. Not telling yourself the lie the entire time of like, this is the only thing that can make me happy. Kind of like you figured out in the coaching, man, is like, I'm allowed to be happy while I work on my sex and dating life. So it's not about saying like sex is bad and that won't make you happy. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying like give up all goals and don't achieve anything. You'll probably just get depressed. It's about saying I'm going to have these goals. I'm going to work towards them. And every single fucking day, as much as I can, I'm going to be happy and grateful for every little tiny victory, every little baby step, every little success. It's about breaking the goal down into lots of smaller goals and celebrating each one of those and being happy and grateful for each one, rather than saying, this is the magical thing that will make me happy when I get there.
Yeah.
It's too much of a burden to put on your goal as well. Like, sex is beautiful, you know that, but like, sex is beautiful and wonderful and amazing, and it's this entire universe in itself, but it's not gonna, do you get what I'm trying to say? It's not gonna just magically make you a completely different person because you lost your virginity or something.
I mean, I felt empty when I lost my virginity. I was just like, yeah, okay, that was fun, but I got a lot of issues still. Like, my life, my goals, they haven't changed. Everything's still the same.
It's almost like you put all this pressure on sex to be the thing that would make you happy, right? Was it that?
Yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah. And just be like, okay, it was a bit anticlimactic. It wasn't a big deal.
And it's almost like you don't fix your own problems because you say sex will fix them. So you don't do anything to fix the things that are making you unhappy. You finally go out and have sex and lose your virginity. And then you're like, fuck, all my unhappiness and problems are still there. People do the same with money, bro. They're like, when I get enough money, if I could just be a millionaire, if I could win the lottery, that would fix all my problems. And it's like, no, it won't. It might fix some of them. It might improve some of them. But winning a lot of money might bring its own set of problems as well. And because you're not used to solving your own problems, because you've just been expecting money or sex or a partner to fix those problems for you, you don't even know how to solve your own problems. So every problem life throws at you, you're just going to be like, oh shit, maybe I need more money to solve this problem for me. It's almost like you're putting away you're giving away the responsibility and the power of fixing your own problems. And you're saying this external thing is going to fix them for me. It's like, no, it won't. It's just sex. It's amazing. But it's not going to solve your mental health issues. Or you having a lot of sex and losing your virginity isn't going to give you some meaning and purpose in your life. Or if, I don't know, you had a bad relationship with your family or something and they yell at you all the time and you feel like there's problems there, getting laid isn't going to stop your father and mother yelling at you. Like, you might have to actually fix those things or improve those things. So yeah, it's not the fix all, I guess we're saying. It's beautiful, but it's not going to fix everything.
Yeah.
Okay, something else I want to talk about here. When you first signed up for coaching, you had set this, I really like this story, man. You had set this goal of like, if I don't kind of get my shit together by December 2024, then I will sign up for Andy's coaching program in the new year, which is what a lot of people do, bro. They're like, New Year's resolution, that's when I'll do it. You in like October or something were just like, fuck it, I'm going to sign up now. I don't want to wait. What changed there? Why did you go, fuck it, I'm going to do this like 3 months early?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, you did an email, actually. You said an email about like approaching your first girl, okay? And it's like, I'll promise to like respond, okay? And that's when like I sent you, yeah, that was me. I sent you an email.
Oh, was that
when I
you?
did my first. Yeah.
Did you do one of them? Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I sent you an email, okay? And then you were just like, awesome, that's cool. And then you did a YouTube video about me. I was like, no way. And then I was just like slowly playing on my mind. I'm just thinking, okay, but back to square one, okay? It's just approaching more women. And then I'm just thinking, I could really do with like people, like-minded people. And then you did another email about like doing a voice. You said you would give a voice note again. I said, I'm struggling with like approaching women still. You're like, you've set the bar too high, but maybe you should go for coaching. And I'm just thinking, yeah, to be honest, like, what's the point of waiting this long? Like, I've been doing this for like 2 years now. Like, my results have been stagnant in a way, but I mean, they've come across a long way, but I felt like I could speed run it a bit. Like, there's no difference between signing up 3 months from now and like now,
So many people like wait for the right time. Like, people definitely do that with coaching. They're like, I'm going to wait till the summer, or let me wait until I talk to a few girls on my own. Let me wait till I improve my pictures first. People do this with other goals in general as well. They're like, I'm going to finish my university and then I will start building a business or something. It's like, why don't you just do it as a little side hustle while you're still at university? Why don't you just come to the coaching program when it's not the perfect time? Why don't you go outside and start talking to some women, even though it's winter? Just go find somewhere indoors where it's warmer and you'll have more girls. We wait so long for the right time. I would love to hear from you. Like, advice to any guys out there, or girls as well, that are procrastinating whatever their goal might be, and they're saying, I'm going to wait till the right time?
Baby step it every day.
Mm.
That'll probably be it.
Mm.
I know for me, it was like per writing a song every day. It's just like just playing on the guitar like for 5 minutes a day. Like that's a win in itself for me. I think there is a right time. Like obviously, like during that summer period, like I probably would have signed up for the coaching if I didn't. I was doing a lot of music festivals, so like obviously Signal isn't going to be good. So I know like I wouldn't bother doing it. But then I did say, yo, by the end, like September or whatever, like yeah, I better sign up then because that's when I'll have access to a phone, internet, and everything. So there can be a right time, but I wouldn't say procrastinate, like wait 3 months for a coaching program when you can do it straight away.
And no, be fair to yourself, bro. You might have procrastinated the coaching, but you were still taking action. You weren't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like you did a lot, especially with your brother. You guys did a lot of action. You were taking pictures. You were trying to talk to girls. You talked to like 8 women each on your own. That's fucking incredible. And I guess that's my point, is don't do nothing. Yeah, it might not be the world's best time to go out and hit on lots of women if it's in winter and you're in fucking Serbia or something and it's snowing outside and there's 0 women outside. Yeah, no shit. That's probably not the best circumstances for talking to women. So go on the goddamn dating apps or hit the gym and lose weight and take better pictures. Like there's something you can do in every moment. Always. That will always be the case. Even if you're sick in bed and you literally can't get out of bed, it's like, okay, then fucking brainstorm what you're going to do when you get out of bed. Brainstorm how you're going to talk to girls or build your business or whatever when you feel better. There's always something to do or something that you can do.
Yeah.
Something else that you really worked on a lot, I guess you kind of smashed through this. You had a really strong limiting belief that you weren't good enough to date. Like no one would want to date you, that you weren't that kind of guy. I want to hear a little more about that. Like how were you feeling? What kind of thoughts were you experiencing? Like how did you smash through that?
Yeah, I think it was just like the abundance of going on all those 5 dates in 2 weeks and then having girls saying, yo, you're pretty cute. Yo, you got sexy eyes. And it's just like, yo, wait, I am handsome. I think I'm handsome. I must be handsome if they're saying I'm handsome. Like the fact that they're sat here with me talking to me, like they must find me attractive somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like before that moment, it's like it can be hard to think like, yo, am I good enough? Like you see loads of couples, okay, you think, okay, that guy has this guy's taller, this guy's muscular than me. I just think like, yeah, you can go into this like negative mindset of being like, I don't have that factor, it factor.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, dude, it's just because you haven't tried. Like you were still trying, you were still doing stuff, but we look at the lack of dating results and we say that must be evidence that I'm ugly. And it's like, well, did you hit on 100 women? No. That's why you don't have a girlfriend, or that's why you haven't had a date. It's not that you're ugly. These women just don't know that you exist. Or I must be really bad at building a business and my product must suck. How many people have you offered it to? 3. Well, what the fuck? Like, that's not building a business. So, yeah, it's often just that we didn't play the numbers game. But we feel all these limiting beliefs, man, of like, I mustn't be good enough. And how fucking nice is it when you start getting the counter evidence? Like when a woman literally tells you, hey, you're cute. How the hell did that feel the first time?
Yeah, I honestly it felt surreal because I'm like, I'm not used to that.
It's weird. Hey, you think you're being like on a prank show or some shit. First time a woman told me that I was attractive, I was like, what the fuck? And then the first time a woman told me that I was sexy, I literally started interrogating her, bro. I was like, why?
What do you find me sexy for?
Literally, I was like, why? Why am I sexy? And she's like, you are. And I was like, what? Like, tell me, give me a list. Is it my body? Is it my confidence? Like I need to know because then I can work on those things more. And she's kind of like, oh shit, why am I being interrogated? I guess I like your face. I like your beard. Like she just told me everything. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Like one woman thinks I'm sexy. So it's so weird. I think as men, we're just not used to getting compliments that we get confused. Like most men, if you give them a compliment, get a little confused. They're like, why am I getting a compliment? Like,
yeah, what have I done to deserve this?
Is she pranking me? Is there like a fucking camera around? Is this a YouTube prank or something? Like, what's going on? Why do you find me sexy? Are you retarded? Like, are you tripping balls right now? Are you drunk? Are you high on mushrooms? Like, why are you telling me I'm sexy? She's like, well, because you're sexy. Like, I don't know. I just find you sexy. You also sort of worked through having a little bit more of a positive mindset in general. What are you specifically doing to be more grateful?
Mostly not like sweating the small stuff and just being like, I guess focusing more on positivity, like, oh, okay, and being more stoic in the sense that negative situations and be like, okay, that happened. And if it was really getting me down, I'd be like, all right, would this affect me tomorrow? Maybe I might feel that, but would it affect me in a week, 2 months, 2 years, 10 years? No, not really. This too shall pass.
Bro, that is such like a fucking game changer. Because like when we're in the moment, when we're really emotional or angry or pissed off, it's so hard to see into the future and realize that eventually we'll calm down. We'll be okay. Like you said, this too shall pass. In the moment, it feels like it's going to go on forever. And your brain plays this goddamn trick on you where it says, you're going to be pissed off about this forever. You're never going to get over this. You're never going to fix this. You're always going to be a loser. No one's ever going to love you. You start going to just these crazy extremes where you're like, I will always be unhappy. No one will ever make me. I will never see happiness ever again. Fucking Cam, my friend Cam and the coach in the program sent me a message a couple of days ago. And he's like, man, it's funny the tricks that the mind will play on you. He said, I'm sick right now. And my brain is literally telling me, you're never going to walk again. You're always going to be sick. And it's like, bro, you just have a cold. You're going to be okay. Yeah. And he's like, he knows that. It's just, he's like telling me the crazy things that his brain is saying to him. You're going to be sick forever. You're never going to play sport ever again. You're never going to be able to look at another human being without coughing ever again. You're not going to walk again. So we forget that we're going to feel better in the future. In other words, everything's okay and everything's going to be okay. But that can be harder to remind yourself in that moment. So is it sort of the coaching? Was it also that book, You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought, that helped with that? Was it just seeing that things work out okay that helped?
I'd say all of it, to be honest. Just like being with positive people, okay? People like trying to celebrate the same goals and people like just going through the same stuff who could empathize and just being like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but think of it like this, or be like, just try and understand this problem. Okay, this isn't going to affect you, okay, in any way. And it's just like more like that happens, the less you stop giving a shit about.
I feel like we need other people. Even I do. Eventually you get good at this yourself. But at the start, you almost need other people to tell you like, hey, it's not that big a deal. Because in the moment we freak out and we're like, but it involves me. I'm going to die. And it's like, bro, a girl just said, no, thank you. I don't want to kiss you. You're not going to die. There will be other women in the future that will say yes to you. This woman didn't pull out a knife and start fucking stabbing you because you asked if you could kiss her. She just said, no, thank you. But thanks. Like, nothing bad happens. But it's a little harder when it's us because we're in the middle of it. It really helps having external people. Like I said, coaches, a forum, friends. Like so many people are doing this shit on hard mode, bro. They're just doing this by themselves. I tried the same as you to do my self-improvement by myself at the start a little bit. I just gave up after 6 months. I was like, I can't do this shit by myself. Like I need someone. I'm too emotional. I'm too irrational. And I can't pick myself up enough. I need some fucking friends or something to help me with this.
Yeah. How did you find your friends then? Was it through the Good Looking Loser forum?
I guess if we're talking about at the very start, when I was overcoming my depression, my friends, my family kind of forced me, really, really, really encouraged me to make friends, which I was so grateful for. But if we're talking about like the getting laid and all of that sort of self-improvement journey, yeah, man, my first few friends literally came from a forum called the Good Looking Loser Forums. And there were two guys, I had a lot of friends on there, but there were two guys in particular that were really good friends with me. One was a guy called Mike Explosions. The other guy was called Bad Idea Bear. One of them lived in America. The other guy lived in the UK and I was in Australia. And we would just talk on Skype, bro. Like every fucking day we would call each other. I would go out to talk to women and I'd be like, I can't do this. Like there's a girl right here. I can't say hi. I'm too scared. And they'd be like, Andy, listen. You got this, brother. I believe in you. You can do this. And I'd be like, thanks, man, but I can't. I'm a pussy. And they're like, don't talk about yourself like that, man. You're a fucking warrior. You can do this. And they just believed in me, bro. And I would do the same for them. Sometimes they would struggle. They were a little bit further ahead than me, so they kind of pulled me up towards them. But I would give them pep talks and stuff too. And we just kind of supported each other for like a year or two, man. And then one of them ended up moving to my country, to my city. He lived like 3 minutes walk from my house because he's like, the amount of progress that I have made, Andy, having you as my friend, And I was like, bro, I feel the same, dude. And then the other guy, the third guy as well, all three of us were like, bro, fucking hell, man. The amount of progress we've made by pushing each other. He was like, I got to come live in your city. So we did. And he lived there for like 3 years. Bro, we went crazy. Like having him live 2 minutes from my house, like literally he was like 2 blocks away from me, like 2 minutes from my house. Do you know how much easier it is to go and talk to women if literally every day, you're like, hey, bro, I'm going to the shops to buy some milk. Do you want to come with me? Yep. You walk to the shops together and you talk to 1 or 2 women because why not? You're with each other. Or, hey, bro, on the weekend, I was thinking of just like going and sitting in a park and maybe talk to some girls, hang out. Do you want to do that? Fuck yeah. And you talk to like 15 girls on that day because your friend's doing it. Why wouldn't you? It was so much easier to talk to women when I had a friend there. Building my business was easier too because it's like I had them to push me. Now I have like Cam who pushes me, Imogen obviously pushes me. A ton of people push me. Yeah, bro, like I'm so grateful for the friends that I had. And then I've been more, there's other ways to make friends. Like I've been more direct about it, like going on Bumble. Bumble has like a friendship section. And I just like wrote like a 3-paragraph copy paste message that I would just copy paste, like spam to every guy on there. And a lot of guys would just be like, whoa, this is too much for me. I just want to play video games and smoke weed. I'm not interested in this. Cool. But a couple of dudes were just like, holy fuck, this is what I've been wanting. Because I literally said, like, I want to build a fucking tribe. I want us to be a band of brothers that will push each other and achieve greatness and fucking do top tier shit. And a couple of the dudes were just like, holy fuck, you are speaking my language. One of those guys, actually 2 of those guys, I'm still friends with. One of them, I hang out with him like, I don't know, once a month. He lives like 2 hours away. We would make the trip to fucking hang out because he's just my fucking bro. We've been bro for years now. And then the other guy I've been friends with for like 9 years. And like I've moved twice and both times he's moved with me. He's like, I'm coming, bro. Like I'm going to fucking live in the same area as you. So he's like my best fucking bro. So yeah, I've just made friends from this. And then I have another friend as well that I met from the Good Looking Loser forums who lives like in my city. So yeah, I kind of like finding people through online spaces. And then we either just move to live together or I just find people from online who live here, or I use Bumble or Meetup is another good way to meet people, like meetup.com. But yeah, I go hard, bro. Like, you know how we talked a lot about honesty and you can just say, you're sexy, can I kiss you? I do the equivalent, but for men, where I'm just like, yo, you seem fucking cool. I want a band of brothers. Do you want to be part of that? Don't fuck around. Tell me what your goals are right now. If you don't have any goals, get the fuck out of here. I'm nicer than that, but like, that's essentially what I'm doing. And what's funny is that's how Imi has made most of her friends now too. Because she saw how effectively that worked for me. And so she just rewrote the template, made it a little bit more feminine, but basically said the same shit. And she just copy pasted that to a bunch of people on Bumble. And she has like 3 friends that are just like, I don't know, what's the female equivalent of like a bro? Like a broette, a sister. I don't know.
Broette, yeah. Sisterhood.
Broette, yeah. She has like 3 broettes that would like take a bullet for her because she just copy pasted that template. So yeah, bro, I don't fuck around with making friends. I'm just like, here's what I want. Do you fucking want this? I need a fucking bro. I want to build something beautiful. I'm going places. I want to build a business. And yeah, all the friends that I have are super fucking ambitious. They're not perfect, like same as me. You know, they need to take baby steps. Like they're not ultra hardcore, but they're fucking going places. I have one guy that's built 2 businesses, another guy that's fucking tripled his income in like 5 years that I've known him, and fucking gotten abs and has an elite body and all this. Like all these dudes are doing shit. Like they're all building a business. They all have like an amazing sex life too. I forgot to say that. But like, yeah, I go hard for like screening for friends, bro. Because there's these people out there. And a lot of the time, you know, we talked about honesty. A lot of the time we have this fear of like, if I'm really honest and upfront, won't people think that's weird? Yes, some guys will even tell you you're weird if you screen really hard for like solid male friendships. And it's like, good, get the fuck out. I'm looking for the people that will take this seriously. And the people that take it seriously fucking love you when you write a message like that. Same as dating. You walk up to a woman and say, you're sexy, can I kiss you? The women that like that fucking love that. Because they're like, you're the only man who's ever done that in the last like fucking year or 2. Like most of the women that you did that with, I don't know if any of them told you this, but like, does that happen very often to them? That a guy just walks up and is like, yo, you're sexy?
Probably not. Like I've asked like a few women and they're just like, yeah, like a lot of guys don't really approach. at all, or even say that.
Or when they do, it's indirect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, "Hi, how's your night going?"
I had one guy who said, one of my mates, he was like, "Oh, the thing is, I don't ask, can I kiss you? I go, yo, do you want to see if there's chemistry? How do I do that?" And then brings in for a kiss. Well, obviously that may work for him, but like, I find the autistic route has always been more efficient.
You know, we've started in this community. I don't know when I started using the word autistic, like as a positive, as a like a good thing, like autistic honesty. But I swear to God, bro, we're starting a trend here of men and women that just go out there and be autistically honest, and they're just like, "Hey, here's what I want. Do you want this too?" And everyone's like, "Wait, what are you doing? You're supposed to be like subtle, and you got to use like code language and shit." And they're just like, do you want this? Yes or no?" Like, we're starting this autistic community, bro. Like, I've said this before. My favorite people to work with are people who are like literally autistic, and we've worked with a lot of people who are literally autistic because they come in. And they're like, "Oh, I'm autistic and that's bad. It makes it hard for me to communicate." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You're going to be the easiest person ever. Ready? Watch this. You don't have to do any fucking sub-communication. Don't worry about reading body language. Don't worry about cues and subtlety and all of that. Just fucking tell the truth." When you tell someone who's autistic, you're allowed to just tell the truth. They're like, "Fuck yes, man. Like, I'm good at that." So yeah, I feel like we attract anyone who's like mildly on the autism spectrum, or just just people that are like, "I can't be bothered playing games, man. Can I just pretend to be autistic?" Like, literally pretend you're autistic and you don't know how to do kino or escalation. You don't know how to read body language. Like, that shit is just beyond you. You can't understand it. You've tried to study it. It doesn't make sense. What would you be left with? All you could do is be honest. So just be honest.
Yeah.
Any other topics you want to cover before we start finishing up?
No, I feel like, yeah, we've covered a lot. Like, bro, you even told me things that I totally forgot about. I'm like, shit, that's how I was like before the program. I totally forgot the struggles I went through. I've been too busy celebrating my wins. That's what. I've forgotten them.
You have come a long way, dude. Like, you really have. And this happens a lot when I do these interviews with people where they're like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot that I used to be fucking insecure 24/7. Oh, yeah, I forgot that I used to be angry and pissed off and irrational and like..."
Whinge like a little bitch for a month.
100%. I forgot that I used to just complain about everything, and I never even knew that you could just fix things. I would just complain and be unhappy. You come so far in such a short amount of time. That's why I wanted to do this. Help you celebrate a lot of the victories that you had, because you did a lot, man. Like, you came a hell of a long way. It's just easy to forget that. So good job.
Yeah.
Let's all give a clap to you.
Cheers. Hey, bow.
No, you did a lot, man. You did a lot, man. Yeah, you did. If someone is maybe on the fence about signing up for coaching, like they want to come to the coaching program, but they're kind of in the same position you were in, where they're like, "I'll wait till the right time," what would you say to them?
Just shut up and do it. You're paying for like... You're paying for a community, I think, and just accountability. And like, when you have a lot of people, like-minded people, like, that helps a ton. Having the like-minded people sharing the same goals, okay, helping you like push through your boundaries. Like, I couldn't have done this by myself. Like, I got as far as I could, but I needed that push. So yeah.
I think something that you wrote, you said, "I couldn't have done this on your own." I think you could have, but here's the direct quote from you. "Of course, I could have achieved this without the program, but it would have taken me maybe 6 extra years to achieve what I have now." Yeah, I think so. I like to look at the coaching program as speed running.
Yeah, fast tracking success.
Yeah, man. You're literally paying to get the results 50 times quicker. So you did a lot, man. I am so unbelievably grateful for you. It was a blast to work with you, by the way, especially seeing how much you changed. Like I said, when you came to the program, you were very angry all the time. And I was like, all right, we are literally, like, this guy thinks he's coming here to get laid. And yes, like, he will. But the main thing I'm going to focus on is getting him to be a bit more peaceful, not get so butthurt every time a woman says no or something happens, because he'll have a much easier time of dating, sex, relationships, and just happiness if he can actually enjoy this process. That was like, it wasn't even a hidden agenda. We literally told you that at the start. But seeing the progress that you progressed a lot quicker than I thought you would, honestly. And most of that, all of that, is because you fucking did a lot, bro. You fully went all in on gratitude. You fully went all in on like stoicism and rewriting the stories that you tell. you really, really, really embrace baby steps instead of saying, I have to be perfect and do everything at once. You did a lot, man. So it was a blessing to work with you. It's a blessing to know you. I appreciate you.
Oh, cheers. Would say also like you've been a great coach as well. Like also like yeah, but drawing my eyes, like explaining like the mindset and everything. Yeah, I think that was a real game changer as well. Like my mindset, like and everything.
Yeah, bro. Nothing but love for you, homie. I appreciate you.
Cheers.